really great thing about the community in Power to Decide is that everyone is coming to the table from a different lens and from a different viewpoint. And so if you're thinking, can I be in this, or what about me, or do I fit into this? Absolutely. And not only will you fit into it, you're necessary. You need to be here.
In 2017, Power to Decide recognized that too many people, especially those who are young, economically disadvantaged, facing racism and discrimination, or otherwise marginalized, lack the power to decide if, when, and under what circumstances to have or raise a child. Although there had been tremendous progress in improving outcomes, it was clear that the inequities that persisted were a result of system failures, not the people themselves. We set out to identify a solution, gathering input from over 300 individuals and communities, as well as experts from over 40 local, state, and national organizations. We heard clearly that while access to sexual and reproductive health care is critical, it is only one piece in a larger puzzle. Importantly, many people do not feel like they have the power, agency, or self-efficacy to set their intentions related to contraceptive use, pregnancy, and reproduction, largely because of systems barriers. Using what we learned, we launched a movement to improve reproductive well-being.
Reproductive well-being means having the information, the access, the ability to afford, and the agency to achieve my own reproductive health goals. It means not having to worry about any of those factors that get in the way, whether it's implicit bias, lack of coverage, or not having access to the thing I need, or not being listened to. So it is all of those things, both explicit and implicit.
Reproductive well-being for me is really having the ability to have voice and choice in every step of my process. It's being able to know that I can hold myself accountable for making decisions, and my provider, and my support system.
Power to Decide's reproductive well-being framework centers around 4 essential pillars: autonomy, respect, control, and systems of support. These pillars are essential to ensuring that everyone can have control over their body and to make these essential decisions about when and whether and if to have a child, and that they can do it in a manner that's consistent with their values.
Being informed and respected is the key to this. Once someone feels respected, they're more apt to listen to what you're sharing with them, and they can make an informed decision, and they're not just going with what they're being told they should do.
It's all about creating that equitable opportunity for people to access information, services, support around reproduction and their sexuality.
This powerful idea, if shared by everyone, would dramatically change the care people receive, the opportunities available to them, and the systems of support that surround them.
It would look like people, particularly young people, not experiencing unintended pregnancies. It would look like our LGBTQ youth in our community being able to be out and open and proud and being accepted and loved and embraced by their communities.
To guide the movement, we developed a national blueprint for action, which describes the goals of the reproductive well-being movement at the national level. Our shared narrative toolkit details how we can establish a new narrative centered around the 4 pillars. The Reproductive Well-Being Implementation Toolkit shares best practices and evidence-based strategies that can be customized at the local level to promote reproductive well-being.
There's a role for everyone to play to ensure that reproductive well-being is not just an aspiration and is aspirational, but is also reality.
Since the launch of the reproductive well-being movement, Power to Decide has supported 2 place-based reproductive well-being shared learning collaboratives. That effort has brought together over 50 community leaders, taking collective action to improve reproductive well-being, disseminate lessons learned, and build the evidence base at the community level.
We invite you to talk about it, to talk about the pillars and the tenets, to look within your community to see how this work can be infused into the community.
We have come from a different landscape that has sometimes been a lot more gray and dreary in this world, and to be able to see some of the ways in which in just a few years we have been able to make progress allows me to keep going. It allows me to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel and that the work that we do in real time makes impact.
There's just so many things that I think that could improve if we achieve reproductive well-being beyond sexual health. I think people would just be better, healthy, thriving individuals. We'd have better, healthy, thriving communities.